Government affects where we live, where we work, how our children learn, and how our communities grow. Yet too often, the decisions that shape our lives happen without our understanding or participation. That's where Zlography comes in. Welcome to Zlography, where politics is broken down and citizens learn how to govern their government. Hosted by Debz, Zlography examines American politics through a Caribbean lens because informed citizens build stronger communities. This is Zlography. Welcome to Zlography, where politics is broken down and citizens learn to govern their government. I'm your host, Debz. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to Zlography, like this episode, and join the conversations in the comments. My guest today has a story that began thousands of miles away from Gwinnett County. Michelle Kang came to Georgia from South Korea in 1992. Since then, she has been a mother, a business owner, a community advocate, and a voice in some of the conversations shaping Gwinnett County. Eventually, she made another decision. Instead of helping only communities engage with government, she decided to run for office herself. And in 2024, just 621 votes separated her from a seat in the Georgia House of Representatives. Today, I don't just want to talk about politics. I want to know the woman behind the work. Michelle, welcome to Zlography.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. This is an amazing opportunity, then amazing studio. I love to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. So let's get started. You arrived in Georgia from South Korea in 1992. Was there a moment when Georgia stopped feeling like the place you moved to and started feeling like home?
I think Georgia was like a kind of, let's say, was not known that much in 1992, the year I came to Georgia. But I get to know, after we have the Olympics and then Korean people are picking up the name. Actually, the people living in Korea, when I said to them, I'm going to go to Georgia, where is it? I told them, you know where the Florida? And then it's above the state above the Florida. And then after the Olympics, and then they get to know Georgia more, and then more people coming into Georgia, and then the community is just getting bigger and bigger and growing, and they consider and the growing communities of immigrant. And then I feel this is my home, and then I have lived here like 34 years right now, so it's my home, been my home for the past 34 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah, 34 years is a long time. So before public service and politics, you had a career. You raised 3 daughters, went back to school, and became a business owner. Which version of Michelle do you think shaped the woman that's sitting here with us today?
I think I kind of very like a determined girl. If I have to have something to achieve, and then I always work very hard to fulfill the achievement. So it wasn't that easy decision to go back to school, especially my third child was attending pre-K. But I studied GRE, even TOEFL for a year because I decided to go back to school. So it was like when I was 40 years old, above the hill. And then I was thinking what I want to do for the rest of my life. And then, I was a small business owner raising my children, but I want to do something more. I want to serve the community. So that's why I didn't go MBA. I chose to go MPA because public administration is my passion because I had a strong public service motivation since high school. So it's more likely fulfilling, my long dream serving for the community. That's how I chose to study public administration and then go back to school. And then I think that is it was a good decision. It was maybe changed my career,
Yeah.
No, actually, it changed my career from the small business owner. After I obtained my master's degree, I hired by the nonprofit organization.
Oh, wow.
And then I stayed that nonprofit organization space and public sector space for a long time, up to today. So actually, my education is changing my career, and then I'm here.
Oh, yes, I know about going back to school. I'm back in school now getting my doctorate. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you being a small business owner. I learned that you once owned a restaurant. Tell me about Michelle Kang behind the counter. What did a typical day look like for you?
So it's just mom and pop small business, restaurant, and then I had a like retail store running like different locations in Georgia. So more likely you have to open the business and then stay until you close the business. So it is a tough job, and then
Long hours.
and then the long hours, and then raise children, and you have to worry about everything. Payroll, utility, rent, insurance, and then you're worrying about if we have enough customer to walk through the door for the next day and then for a month. So it was tough, and then that's how I understand, the small business faces every day.
Yes.
Especially like economic downturn, national economic downturn. We experienced 2008 that subprime mortgage collapsed, and
Yes,
then
it
we went
did.
through that. And then 2020, the pandemic era, we get through that. So it's been challenging, even today, small business have challenges. They are worrying about pay their rent. It's the same thing. I had the same worry like 10 or 15 years ago. So that's why I want to support the small businesses, but because I was in the same shoes and understand how hard to keep their doors open.
Yeah, it has become even harder now to keep the doors open with a lot of the tariffs and everything
That's
that
right.
is crushing the small businesses. Running a restaurant will teach you about people very quickly. What did your customers and employees teach you about the community that you couldn't learn in a classroom?
I think it's loyalty. Yeah, loyalty is a service mind.
Yeah.
And then it's just not taking our customer as like but it's just building the relationship.
Building relationships.
Building the relationship, loyalty, they keep coming back. And then we talking about the families, children's, and, the community. So it's just building, let's say, having common ground, common, there's a common things that we share. Like raising family, and then running the small business. So it's like a building relationship. So I learned a lot while was running the businesses. It's just customer become clients, right?
Yeah.
So because I care about them. I care how your mother, how's your children doing. How's your business? Are you doing okay with your job? Because they keep coming back, and then you're sharing their stories. How's your school? Do you like your new job? It's something like that. So it's just building the relationship. It's just still teaching me. I'm doing the same thing right now, building the relationship with the community, and then with a different background and a different culture, different heritage, and different legacy. Building the relationship like you and I had been knowing each other for years. In first place, I remember how I met you first, That's the relationship I'm building. So I want to have a strong relationship with our community that I'm serving for.
Yes, Michelle, I see you out in the community even before you began running for politics, doing what you do for the community. But let's talk about, you eventually worked directly with immigrant families at the Asian American Resource Center. Was there one family or one experience that shaped the way you look at what immigrants actually go through after they arrive in America?
Yes, so it's a newcomer, fresh off boat. Then they know where to find their housing. Right, and then just immigrant can be very like vulnerable. especially like a economic downturn period. And then because I was hired, it was 2009. You were experiencing a subprime mortgage.
I remembered.
Right, and then the people is hard time to find the stable housing, and then it was a hard program because the organization that I work for is getting the funding from the HUD, and then use the funding to help people to find their stable housing. So I realized that the importance of funding, federal funding, the money from federal government, state government, or county government, just literally that money to help people get on their feet. So that's how I on my experience as well. And then right now, I'm running for office. The money really attached with the policies. The policy without any like a budget was good for or bad.
Yes.
What is good for, right? So that budget always come with a policy, and then the policy should work for people. It's not doing anything. It's just empty policy.
It's empty policy. That's correct.
Right.
Yep.
So I wanna work with the budget because we wanna serve people. The money has to come with it. So that's how I learn, the funding, especially the right funding from right level of government should be serving to people who are very vulnerable for the need the most. So that's I'm learning from while I working at Asian American Research Center.
And when you get elected to the House of Representatives, you would be working to help balance the budget for Gwinnett County.
Right. Yeah, of course. Of course. So, I have two daughters living with me. They came back to me.
Of course, with the market.
It's just, it's hard. They make living with a small amount of, paycheck.
Yes.
Right. So I have my skin in the game as a mother, my daughters in their 20s. Then even though they are working, rent is not possible.
It is ridiculous out there.
Yeah. So, one of my priorities is just housing stability for both homeowners and renters. So, especially, we've been talking about housing a lot, county level, state level, even federal level, because the housing attainability or housing affordability is the main problem for across the country, because it's been years, right? Because the housing price is getting higher. I bought my first house when I was 34 years old.
Okay.
It was one of my American dream, being homeowner. But right now, look at our children.
Yeah, it's no longer an American dream.
No, so I'm very worried about and concerned about our young generations, the building the stable life, because housing is the basic human need.
So later you found yourself inside Gwinnett County Citizens Budget Review process. Most residents will never see that side of county government. What surprised you when you saw how decisions about Gwinnett's money are actually made?
So I was very appreciative to being, in the table, on the table, talking with this budget with the, chair, Nicola Hendrickson. And other budget review committee member, citizen budget review committee member. So, we brought our perspectives and our own thoughts and then our own experience. What budget must be used specifically. And then, there was the opportunity I can appeal, and then we have to take care of the immigrant community because they are suffering from the language barriers. And then, language access is very important for our voting rights, and for government, they have to provide the language access and language variety, because the Gwinnett County is very good, the communicating with the various communities. they providing different language on their official website.
Yeah, because America does not have an official language. I know people are trying to say it does. English is not the official language, and our forefathers made it so. So you were involved in conversations surrounding redevelopment of Gwinnett Place Mall. That area means different things to different generations of Gwinnett residents. What did you believe the community needed from that redevelopment, and that might have been missed if residents weren't at that table?
Right. So I remember it was 2021, 2022, 2023. So I served, for the advisory board, I served in 2021 and 2022. So when I arrived in Gwinnett County, Gwinnett Place Mall was the huge place for fun.
Yes.
Shopping and spend time, our pastime. Every weekend we go to Gwinnett Place Mall.
It was one of the biggest malls.
Right. And then, it was so sad that it was just almost the mall was just closed down in 2021. But there's a great opportunity over there because it's just 85, just off the 85, the mall is right there. And a huge space.
Yes, it is.
I believe it was a 32-acre. Including parking lot that Gwinnett County purchased. And then what they're going to do with those huge building and the parking lot. So, and then that is the very, the commercial area, all different kinds of grocery stores, all different kinds of restaurants. And then all small businesses is just like a hub for small businesses. So I put a lot of thoughts over there. And then this area must be preserved as a small business mecca, a hub, because there's always gentrification.
Yes,
the rent is high, and then they almost forced to move somewhere else to establish their business again. But here in Gwinnett Place Mall area, the business already built there, and
it's built.
Yeah,
yes.
And then there's a culture. Hey, if you go to Duluth area, Gwinnett Place Mall area, there's a great restaurants over there.
Yes,
all kinds of restaurants. So we need to preserve the area with a characteristic, right? We already have the culture over there. So, and then we want to add walkable community.
Okay.
It's hard to find a walkable community in Gwinnett County because we are all single drivers. But there, the people walk to their work, from their home.
Oh, okay.
That was the very brilliant, innovative idea by the time. You walk to work from your home, and then building those type of community and all green spaces because it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, and then it's a walk to a McDaniel Park by walking, not driving. That is the idea of that. And then I remember I proposed that having a satellite offices because Gwinnett County government is Langley Drive in Lawrenceville and then Duluth, because it's just this heavy traffic area. It's just a lot of foot traffic there.
Yes, I understand.
So I want to have the satellite offices in that area too to provide the convenience. And then we're talking about the libraries, and then we're talking about the affordable housing, because there was no high rise in Gwinnett County.
Okay.
No high rise in Gwinnett County, but because of the space and then the Gwinnett County government purchase is huge, we can't build a community with the affordable housing there. So we were talking about senior housing, and then it was in plan right now, and then it's just moving slowly.
It's government.
I want to see some our proposal be in the fruition. See something, near in the near future, and that's my hope. But it's a great opportunity over there in the Gwinnett County in Duluth. people love to shopping there, It's just, hey, we want to have like a Korean barbecue. Let's go to Duluth, right? Something like that.
Yes.
And then there's
Yum,
all
yum.
kinds of groceries, like Indian American groceries, Chinese groceries, Vietnamese groceries, and Korean groceries, and Caribbean groceries must be there
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
So it's all different culture is gather, and then just the community look better, and then it's just our diversity, variety is our asset.
Yeah, it looks better when it shows all of us. You organize candidate forums for Korean American residents. I'm curious about what happened inside those rooms. What were Korean residents asking political candidates that you weren't hearing being asked anyplace else?
Sure. So it was 2020 election period. I remember it was in October. But people, especially Korean people, Korean community members, didn't know anything about voting. They don't know who were on the ballot. So I want to introduce and bring those candidates to the Korean community,
Yes.
introduce them, and then encourage them to get out the vote. That was 2020, and October right before. I think it was the early October in 2020, and then it's just again building the relationship, introduce those candidates on ballot to the Korean people, and then asking question, how are you going to do, like housing, transportation? What's your plan once you elected? And then how are you going to develop Gwinnett County? That question was exchanged and then, answered. And I believe I helped, those candidates be elected. So it was Chairwoman Nicola Hendrickson,
yes.
and then our commissioner Coughlin Carden, and our whip, minority whip Sam Park was the one candidate in the forum that I organized. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, so
Nice.
I think it was the first one ever organized in the Korean community history. Bring those political candidates to the Korean community and had this conversation. So I'm very, working to organize forums, meetings, and events and festival. That's my specialty.
I know.
Right?
Yes.
And then connecting people is my specialty. So I'm love to doing it. And then I think, because of my the work, like organizing those events, the meetings, the forums, everything, people get to know each other, be
Yes.
connected, and I'm very proud what I'm doing.
In 2021, after Atlanta's area SPAR shootings, conversation about Asian American community changed drastically. For you, this wasn't just something that was happening on television, it was happening here. What changed for you personally after those shootings?
Sure. So I remember, we all remember George Floyd, I can't breathe, right? So there's a huge national movement, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
I participated because I believe your problem, your community problem is my community problem.
Exactly.
Your community is my community. We live in the same area, same community. So I heavily participated in the Black Lives Matter in 2020. And then when 2021, March 16th, that the shooting happened, I reached out to all communities, religious communities, and all different communities, like Black communities and Latino communities. They came together. And then I think this is what we are living, and this is the community we are living in. And then the building those relationships, because systemic racism is just very historical in America, and then we are all victims, even though we are all different. Has the background different, the background, but we are all victims of systemic racism. So I want to have this, building the coalition. It's not just like a building connection. It's just level up and having this building coalition is a stronger and just, building the solidarity. It's the one that I worked on 2021 after the shootings. And then their relationship, the coalition and solidarity we built is still lasts up to today. It's just, very, very impactful and very, just bring the change to the community. I think that work was very important.
Yes, I remembered. You responded by helping to bring Asian American, Black Americans, Latino, faith, and other community leaders together. Was there a moment during that period when you realized that we are stronger together? We are staying inside our, than staying in our individual communities?
I actually, March 16 shootings, and that weekend, Saturday, at the Liberty Plaza, there was a rally. Just Stop Asian Hate rally in Liberty Plaza. And then all kinds of people gather there to protect and then stop Asian hate. It's just very intergenerational, very interracial. All kinds of people, literally, it's just young man, or older guy from different background, different skin color, different race. I was in tears, literally. Oh,
I'm in tears now.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, this Liberty Plaza. And then, I believe shooting was happened like a Wednesday. And then quickly we organized the rally in Liberty Plaza in downtown Atlanta. And we walked to CNN Center that day.
Oh, okay.
We had a march, rally and march. And then I thought this is only because the victim was all Asian and then two Hispanic victims. I thought it's about just Asian communities, the concern and matter, but it was not. Like Black leaders, Black religious leaders, and the young folks, and then came there. I was looking around all the people. Oh my goodness, this is the community we built, and that's the very like a defining moment. Strengthen my public service motivation. We are living in the same community.
Yeah, we are from one community. Eventually, the community advocate decided to become the candidate. What happened in your life that made you finally say, I'm going to put my own name on the ballot?
So it's more likely I want to work. I love to work. I cannot rest. I love to working. So in you remember 2020 we have a census, and we have a census, and then because based on the data we doing the redistricting. But obviously, Republican Party, they want to hold on to their power. So they did the gerrymander. They did the gerrymandering. So many districts were gerrymandered. So when I see here, Suwannee area district was gerrymandered, and then the mega Republican incumbent was elected, I saw it should not be, this district must be blue. And then I need to flip this district by running against him. That's how I decided to run for office for House District 99. And then, because the demographic composition was like a 60% people of color, and then the representative is not true representation because he only serving like a wealthy or well-connected, like a fraction of the population. So I believe I'll be the better choice to bring the change and serve everybody living in the district. It doesn't matter what language you speak at home, what your background. It doesn't matter what your social economic status. I want to serve everybody in the community and sharing the benefit of development and growth. That's why I decided to run for office. It's not about title, but I want to work for the community.
Michelle, you have a history of working for the community. You have a history of bringing people from different race, different creed, different religion together. Let's make that happen for 2026. Election night came in 2024. You lost the race for House District 99 by 21 votes. A loss that close could make someone say, I'm never doing this again. You chose the opposite. What made you come back?
Yeah, that night was very surreal. It was very surreal. I feel like, it's just election results came like late night, like, like early like night, like, very late night, like early in the morning, very early in the morning. And then I was thinking like, is this real? And then I was like confused. I feel like I can't believe this election results. But, I feel heavy responsibility. Heavy responsibility, and because I built a lot, built experience running for the office that one of the most comparative races in Georgia, and then I cannot waste my experience, and then I decide to run for office again to finish the job, because the reason I run for office in 2024 was to flip the seat. And I wanted to finish the job, and then I felt a very heavy responsibility for that. And then I didn't hesitate or anything to do it again. So I think I made a good decision because people is very supportive. And right now we have like a consensus. We need to finish the job. And then I'm at the front line right now, but behind me, the whole community is behind me. And so it's just my campaign is not the one to make it happen. Everyone. So I'm like very, very grateful and thankful, and then having this community just behind me and working together. So I'm knocking door a lot when I go to the individual's house, knocking their doors, and then hear what they are saying, and then what's your concern? What are you most worried about? What keeps you at night, like awake at night, or something like that? And then their concern is my concern. So, I'm sure we're going to finish the job this year.
Yes, we are.
And then this is very different from 2024. Very, very different. People is more motivated, and they care about the community, care about one another. So that, just like caring about each other, and then we cannot be selfish anymore, right?
No, we can't.
Yeah, we can't. So it's just caring about the community, and then we have the power to change the course of our state, our country. So people have the desire to bring the change. I think that make us too stronger, and that's how and why we will finish the job this year.
Okay. Let me turn those 621 votes around. What would you say today to 621 people who believe their one vote doesn't matter?
One vote has a very heavy weight because, even Trump has one vote. Even 18 years old student have a one vote. It's the equal weight. So your one vote is the most powerful you can use to make the change. So 621 votes. I remember 2024. It was a presidential election year. So people was very frustrated with all those noises and then everything, confusions and everything in 2024. I won't participate this presidential election. I'm not going to vote. But this year, your vote is even one vote has the most power you can use to bring the change. So I encourage them. You cannot waste your civil rights. You cannot waste your vote. You have to make a decision who will be serving for you and your family and your children. You have a power to decide. I want to say that to them.
So, like Michelle said, it's you have the power to decide. Your one vote matters. Let her get your voice.
Yes.
Michelle, you lived in Korea and Georgia. You have been an immigrant and a mother, a business owner, an advocate, a political candidate. When you hear the words community is power, what those words mean to you?
I strongly believe that. I strongly believe that because we have collective power. We have a collective action. It's a community get together. It's collective. It's not just one individual or just few people gather together. We can change the course of our country, our state. I want to bring one example. So it was June 13th. I remember it was the first day of the special election.
Okay.
Special session, right? And then at the Capitol, South Step, so many people were there standing, and then, it's just so powerful. And there should be no gerrymandering anymore because it's more likely, mid-year gerrymandering, they putting a lot of efforts to have this like a mid-year like redistricting. Before Brian Kemp saying we going to have this special session, right after he said it, every community is just stood up and spoke up. No gerrymandering. We cannot allow that happen. So many people. I go to Capitol often and go to South Step a lot. I never seen that many people gather together that first day of a special session in June. So this is the power of we have as a collectively, as a community. So that is the one example. So Republican, party, backed off, and then they didn't completely ruled out they're going to come back, but we have a power to fight against it. No gerrymandering. We have to wait until 2030 when the centennial census will be done, because based on the data, demographic shift and change, we can redistricting, but we cannot let the Republican Party to use their power to cut lines for their own favor. We cannot allow that.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Community is truly power. Each community, different race, creed, background, getting together, we are indeed powerful. So, Michelle, we're here at our fun Zlography lightning round. Quick answers. Don't overthink them. Just the first word that comes to your mind. Kimchi or Korean barbecue?
Kimchi. I make kimchi myself.
Ooh, yum, yum. K-drama or Korean movie?
I like both.
Seoul or Gwinnett?
It's a very tough question. I like both because Seoul gave me my roots, and then Gwinnett gave me my community.
Oh, love that.
Because you get the
clog that.
you get the best from both different worlds, right?
Yeah.
So I love both. Seoul is my hometown. Is my the country that I have lived in until I was moved to Georgia. Mm-hmm. But Gwinnett is I lived here for 34 years, so long. And then I call Georgia home. I call Gwinnett home. So both is just very important to me.
See, I have two homes.
Right. Yeah.
What Korean food do you make best?
I think kimchi. Kimchi. My girls always, there's a when you go to Korean groceries, even I think that's the Costco. They sell kimchi in a jar. But my three daughters, my kimchi, Mom, your kimchi is best than anything. So they like, okay, I make kimchi for you guys. And then very healthy choice for your diet. So I like kimchi.
So let me ask you about your daughters. What Korean tradition will your daughters never be allowed to forget?
Let's say we do have a New Year, Lunar New Year.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we have our Korean costume, like hanbok, wearing hanbok. And that's the very fun thing to start the year. And I think that's the like a very meaningful because it's like a Korean one of Korean tradition. We eat tteokguk, little like long like rice cake, cut very thin. Use the like a beef broth, making soup. And
Sounds yummy.
yeah. So we eat tteokguk.
Taco.
Yeah, tteokguk is like a soup with the rice cake, slice of rice cakes.
Slice of rice cake.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my next fun question is teach me one Korean word or expression I should know.
사랑합니다.
Ooh.
Yeah, 사랑합니다 means I love you.
Salam.
사랑합니다.
Hamida.
Yeah, I
Sada
love you.
Hamida.
Yeah, I love you.
I love
So
that.
we use for our children, even like between friends, even like like between the boyfriend girlfriend, and then even the married couple, we say 사랑합니다. It's like 사랑.
Salamalida.
Yeah, it's like I care about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I care about you. I'm looking after you. I'm it love. It's just like a lot of meanings of there, right? In between the man and wife, and then children and parents, and between friends. It's a lot of meaning. So 사랑. Yeah.
Sada. So we're now at the end of Zlography Lightning Round. Now for this week's Zlography action item. This one is simple. Go somewhere in your community where you don't normally go. Visit a cultural event outside of your own culture. Sit on a city council or county commission meeting. Introduce yourself to someone whose background is different from yours. You don't have to agree on everything. Start by learning something about each other, because sometimes building community doesn't begin with politics, it begins with a conversation. Michelle, would you like to look into the camera and tell our audience how to get in contact with you?
I'm going to share my cell phone number. My cell phone number is 678-951-3167. If I don't pick up the phone call, you always can text me. And then visit my website, Michelle Kang, forga.com, and then you can book a conversation. You can appointment having a conversation with me. So visit my website again, Michelle Kang, forga.com. There's a lot of information like a voter guide, where to register to vote, when to vote, how to vote. And then my district map is there as well. So get a lot of information. And we need to flip this seat. This is our must because we can. This is high possibility this year. So my district 99 encompassing 20 parts of Duluth and Sugar Hill. Even though you're not living in that area, talk to your people, your college, your colleague, your friends and family and neighbors. Vote for Michelle Kang. Then I'll be your next state representative to serve you. And then I'm looking forward to it.
Michelle, thank you for sharing your story with us. What I take away from today's conversation is that community isn't something we simply inherit because of where we're born or where we live. We build our community. A woman can leave South Korea, make a home in Georgia, raise her family, build businesses, serve her neighbors, sit at decision-making tables, and eventually put her own name on a ballot. And somewhere along that journey, their community becomes our community. That is where the power is. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe to Zlography, like this episode, and leave us a comment. Tell us what stood out to you and what conversations you would like to see next. I'm Debz, and this is Zlography, where politics is broken down and citizens learn to govern their government. Until next time, stay informed, stay involved, and remember that your voice matters.